But I think that Lois is going to have her effect on Clark is going to be more of showing a side of Clark, maybe a comedic side of Clark, and she's also going to help drive the wedge between Clark and Lana a little bit. All right, let's face it, she's a troublemaker. We all know it.
Spicy Lois Lane might be a bit too much to handle for young Clark, but then again, you know what they say, opposites attract. With the love triangle in full swing, what can we expect from the seasons to come?
That the kids are getting older. So with adolescence comes, you know, explorations of love and sex. But it's still very PG on Smallville. It's very innocent. So we always have this romantic notion that things, romance happens in Smallville rather than, you know, people run around in the hay.
That's right, Miles. And if being a teen wasn't complicated enough, try balancing those awkward years with a bunch of superpowers. Coming up, what secrets will super hunk Tom Welling tell us? Then, how the cast of Smallville remembers a real-life Superman. But first, from Clark Kent's super speed to his super strength, we give you an inside look at the making of Smallville's incredible special effects. That's next.
Hi, I'm Kristen Crook from the WB Smallville, and you're watching the TV Guide channel.
I want you to start rolling and just stay with me.
To our TV Guide close-up on Smallville. Ever wonder how they make Clark Kent run at super speed? Or how he moves objects with his super strength? Recently, TV Guide had the chance to visit the special effects team in charge of making all the magic come to life on Smallville.
Marker, please.
Alien marker.
Clark running at super speed was the first special ability uncovered on Smallville. And although it may look seamless on screen, it takes an entire team of special effects masters to make it all happen.
Hi, I'm Matt Beck, and I'm president of Entity Effects. We do the visual effects for Smallville. Super speed is one of the base effects of the show. We do it all the time. Sometimes we'll have somebody running behind him with a high-tech device like a leaf blower. And sometimes we don't need to do that. It depends what he's running on. And sometimes we'll have a stunt person running a long distance, and we'll have Clark step in depending on scheduling and things like that. And sometimes the camera will be moving, and sometimes it won't be. And then we just take it into the computer and start processing it. One of the first things we do is we have to isolate him from the background. So through a process called rotoscoping, which is basically just drawing a line around him, we isolate him so he's just running against black. And so all of these are also kind of little distortion waves that we generate inside the computer. We do a bunch of motion effects to make it look blurred and tied together, so he's got streaks trailing behind him. That adds to the sensation of speed. And that's what this shot is about. It's always an exploration. We tell them we can do anything.
Located 1,270 miles from the Smallville set in Vancouver, Canada, Matt and his team showed us their multi-million-dollar special effects facility.
This is where we organize some of this stuff. These are post-production boards, they're called storyboards, but they allow us to keep track of every single shot. It's a very high-tech system. And then in here is the machine room, where all those little bits and bytes get crunched at a really high speed. We have more computing power than the Defense Department did not that many years ago.
And if that sounds complex, then picture the challenge of making the invisible look real. Without the skills of the actor, our Super Clark wouldn't seem so super. And actor Tom Welling is certainly up for the task. In fact, he loves every minute of it.
For me, I think doing the special effects or the visual effects or the stunts, I think that, you know, we're here to give the director options, and if we're able to actually do something that will give the director more options, and then that's what we're here for. The human eye, I think, can actually catch things. Even when you make it as good as possible, there's just something wrong, you just watch it and you go, there's something not right about that. But when you can create a visual effect where it can happen and the eye does believe it, it's truly, I think, amazing. It all has to be in everyone's imagination, because he's the magician at the end who uses a computer to render the actual image that you'll see on TV. And so a lot of times I'll just try to talk through with him exactly what's going to happen. I mean, it's hard to watch that and see that we treated anything.
There's actually a lot, it's like an army going to war. There's a lot of infrastructure behind the guys in the front line.
Coming up next, TV Guide has fixed its eye on lovely Kristen Crook. Also, find out what Kristen has in common with actress Annette O'Toole.
So it's kind of exciting to explore this part of it that's never been done before.
Then, from the set of Smallville, one of the last TV interviews with the late Christopher Reeve. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Kristen Kruk from the WB Smallville, and you're watching the TV Guide channel.
Welcome back to TV Guide Close-Up on the WB's hit show, Smallville. I'm Leslie Ann Machado. Kristen Kruk plays the lovely Lana Lang, the heartthrob of farm boy Clark Kent. But originally, Lana Lang was first developed in the movie Superman 3 and played by actress Annette O'Toole in the title role.
Being Lana Lang in Superman 3 was a dream for me since I had been a Superman fanatic as a kid. Just loved all the comic books and the TV show, and I always loved Lana. And then when they told me, the Newmans who wrote the script for Superman 3 said, "We wrote it with you in mind. You were our, you know, our ideal Lana." It was like, oh my God. And Chris was just great, and it was wonderful. But it was much more a feeling of being in a comic book. You were doing Superman as, you know, it was very bright, and he's in the suit, and people are whizzing around on wires.
But now, 21 years later, O'Toole has Superman in her sights again. This time, she's playing mom to super son Clark Kent on Smallville.
This is so different. It's much more interesting for me as an actress to be playing the mother. It's much more complex. I have children, and I'm that age now. I'm thrilled to be a part of it and to be amongst a group of people who are so dedicated to the Superman legend and doing it in a new and brilliant way that I never would have thought to do it. It's incorporating a family drama with a X-Files, fantastic kind of take on a story that we all know really well. And a part of the story we really don't know much about at all, which is how did this person from another planet, this little baby, get to be Superman, this hero on Earth.
With many sides of Lana to explore, TV Guide had the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with Kristen about her character's past, present, and future.
Life is going to change a lot this season, from what I've been told. I really do like to delve into that, though, because it makes somebody who they are, who they grew up with, how they were raised, and it's important to see for everybody else to fully understand a character. So,
the character that's changed the most over the last 4 seasons is Lana, going from the moment the meteorite struck and killed her parents, through her relationship with Clark, and now moving on to a new relationship and having some very bizarre things happen to her this season.
Change is in the air, and not just for Lana Lang. Lex Luthor's heart cools over this season as we see him go from Kent's friend to foe. So stay tuned to get some more in-depth info. Plus, can Chloe keep a secret about this season's finale? Then, how the late Christopher Reeve felt about his character, Dr. Swan. And I'm your host, Leslie Ann Machado, and you're watching TV Guide Close-Up. Michael Rosenbaum plays Lex Luthor on the WB's Smallville. Unlike his later self, Lex has made Clark Kent his best friend after Clark saved him from a fatal car crash. Lex may be a bad boy, but every bad boy has something to blush about, and TV Guide was there to catch him in the act.
Every time somebody says sex symbol, I just laugh. I couldn't possibly look in the mirror and think sexy. Yeah. I go with it. Some girl comes up to me, "I really like your character, he's sexy." I'm not going to say, "Oh, but why?" I'm just going to go, "Yeah, thanks."
After January, we're really going to start to see some changes in Lex Luthor, from friend to foe. There'll be some developments with his father and developments with other characters. We will begin to see the dark side.
Yeah, Lex has good intentions. He means well. But you can only push someone so far. Am I right? So eventually, somebody's going to push me a little too far. Things are going to happen. You're going to see things that trigger that inevitable turn to the dark side.
And by the way, he shaves his head. There's no bald pate on. People always want to know, does Lex Luthor shave his head? Yes, he does.
I was a little nervous because when you shave your head, it's a different image for you. And you don't know if it's going to grow back, and it does grow back. I don't mind, you know, I got to shave it every day. I think I'm working like 10 days straight. So waking up sometimes at 6 in the morning and shaving your head, and it hurts.
Allison Mack plays the curious Chloe Sullivan at Smallville High. TV Guide stopped by the set to get the scoop about the actress who brings Chloe to life.
And it's always Tom going, "Now what?" now how did that happen, and what? And then me having these huge paragraphs with like all this technical dialogue. I like it. She makes her smart, which is important. I like playing Chloe because she's funny,